I'm gonna try and get one more. Nobody wants that unit. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh! Uh, that's a pretty good pull right there. Hey, how's it going? So, the new ReZero collab came out with all the new units and the new 3 stars. Fortunately, I wasn't really able to get any of the 3 stars, but did get Rem and Emilia. I triple S Rem and got 1 copy of Emelia, and overall, I think they're pretty good units. So I thought I'd make a video kind of showing how they are in PvP and kind of my thoughts on them from what I've seen, from what I've played against, people I've talked to, and how I've actually had as personal experience. So first we got Rem. So I triple S'd her, you know, character I liked from the show, so I figured may as well. I kind of just have some jank gear on her. It's not really the best stuff ever. I didn't have to take any gear off of any other units, just stuff I had laying around, so it's not exactly the best that I had to offer, but I think it's actually passable. I would say I may go for a little bit more damage and possibly a little bit more survivability. I think Sigurd's is by far her best artifact. I would say there's basically nothing else that you could possibly use on her as an artifact. Sigurd's is just so powerful, especially with her skill set and the fact that she's countering a lot. It just means that she's really hard to kill unless they blow her up in one turn, and just gives a ton of survivability and extra damage, really. So I'm using speed sit on her just with, you know, some kind of bulky gear in general, but overall I don't think that speed is the best. It may be the most optimal, but I think counter set also has a lot of viability. With counter set, you can make it so that her S1 can proc, especially while she's in demon mode, and it can just instantly kill somebody, because if it defense breaks and then does the second hit, they'll just die. It's like an Alencia S1 to S2, which seems pretty strong. And it also makes it so that with this, people will try and focus Rem because they don't want to attack the rest of your allies, and if she's one of your main DPS, then that can cause a little bit of issues, possibly. So it may be more optimal to have counter set to dissuade people from wanting to attack her even, and make it so that she's a threat no matter what. So I've seen some people go around like 130 speed even with Rem, and they say that they want to do that on counter set so that she's in demon mode for longer because they don't want to have it wear off because it has a long cooldown, only lasts 2 turns. I'm not sure I fully agree with that. I think it depends maybe on your playstyle. She's a character that's incredibly good versus aggro due to her S2 constantly countering, so possibly if you're against aggro you'd want to be a little faster, so you get the S3, you get the decreased hit chance, and you're actually able to get that attack buff 3 turns. So those are my initial thoughts on Rem. I think she's a decent character, nothing that's going to completely change the game, but I think she's a character that's useful against aggro, and most of all I'd say she's very fun to play. Feels really good, very satisfying when she actually pops off with counters. Really cool. Fighting against her can sometimes be a nightmare because every time you do anything you get counterattacked and lose your buffs, which can be a big deal. Now for Emelia. So most people going in thought that Emelia looked really lame and boring and was going to be very weak. I don't disagree with people who say that she looks kind of boring, because if you look at her S3, it's just a very simple Soul Weaver skill. It doesn't really look like it has much depth to it, and it doesn't. But this is the skill that's actually important. This skill it's big, honestly. I think this skill makes Emelia a possibly just very good Soul Weaver. So she has the same base stats as DN, so I kind of built her similarly. However, kind of put some more jank gear. I took a few pieces of gear off of DN, but I can't really afford any of my best Soul Weaver gear on her at the moment. Maybe in the future. I put Magara's Tome on her because it makes so she gets to push with this, and this skill, which only has a 2-turn cooldown and gives her 25% CR already, she's now getting 52% CR when she uses her S2, so kind of like a DN S3 in a way. And I think it's actually a really powerful ability. A lot of people seem to underrate it, but it's, in a way, it's kind of like Oxlot's pushing one of your units by 50% every 2 turns, and you may think the cooldown's kind of long, but it is cleansing and giving an attack buff constantly on a character who's also able to cleanse your entire team. So she's versatile in a lot of different kind of team comps. And currently in the game, very popular to pick 2 DPS and 3 supporting units. And so she would be one of the supporting units, and a lot of the time one of the DPS units will be banned. Like, let's say Vector Tenebria the opponent can't deal with, or Landy or Carrot or something like that. They'll ban one of them. And so you'll have one left with Emelia. She's basically a personal soul weaver for one character, where she just spams this for the entire fight on that character. And you're giving them extra turns, you're giving them an attack buff that basically lasts the entire fight. You're cleansing debuffs constantly. If you're against somebody like Carrot, that can be useful if you're hitting them and getting the burns. She overall just seems to support a character very well. And I think she doesn't require insane stats to be useful, but obviously the more stats the better. I would personally speed this up by at least 10 speed and try to about 50% more effect resist, I would say. And overall, I think that she much more powerful than most people first thought, and you should give her a try. You can also use Rod of Amaryllis if you're looking for more sustain on your team, but I think Magra's Tome is a little more aggressive, which is kind of how I play. And I play a more aggressive but bulky and slow kind of setup when I'm playing Bruiser, and this will help ramp my team up. So overall, I think she's a pretty solid character. I would almost rate her better than Rem overall, because I think Rem a little more specific, while Emelia is more versatile in different team comps and has more of a place versus a lot of threatening units that can debuff you, and he supports your 1 DPS unit incredibly well. Even though this heal is actually very small, with her current stats it's only about 3,000, which is very low. And this only heals about 2,500, but then gives a barrier, I believe, of the same size to the team, so it's okay. But all in all, I think she's a solid unit. As for pulling both of them, I think people should pull both characters. Seaside Asteria is about to come out, and we have no idea about her skill set. Maybe she'll be the best character in the whole game. We actually have no idea really right now. But I think that Rem is a decent character to have, but mostly for fun. And I think Emelia is actually just a really useful character to have on your account, especially if you don't have a character like Dien. Having some sort of support Soul Weaver that can attack buff can be big for people. And I think it's worthwhile pulling both of the characters. As for the artifacts, I don't really think it's worthwhile pulling for them. If you get it, then great. But I don't really see them having much use other than little gimmicks. And maybe you can just get them from the powder shop. Although at the moment you might just want to wait to get them from the powder shop. But overall, I think that's my entire synopsis on whether I would pull for them or not. And for the rest of this video is going to be some clips of just like a couple arena matches, and then mostly some RTA, and it's going to show Rem and Emilia. So thanks for watching, I appreciate it. Hope to see you next time. Alright, let's take a look at this. So Emelia can actually push up the Little Queen Shard here, so this could be pretty nice. Yep, he's gonna go like this. This does absolutely nothing to my team. You have Fallen Cecilia, Fairy Tale Tenebria, it doesn't actually do anything there. Oh, I actually get the counterattack, which is going to do basically absolutely nothing to him as well. Funnily enough. So, I'm going to go like this. And we get another counterattack. That's kind of nice, actually. I know it hasn't been a crazy amount of damage, but it definitely makes a difference. And now we can do something fun like this.
Trespassers will be punished.
I'm actually gonna just do it into this. I want to see how much it does. I don't have a Hellcutter Little Queen Charlotte, so it's not quite the same. I got a counterattack. Oh, here we go. Okay. Rem's just kind of popping off, doing whatever she wants. Okay, he gets Basket, which is a little bit scary. Let's see what happens. You gonna counter again? Ah, she didn't. Keep in mind, she can't be debuffed either, which is really nice. So she gets the attack buff, then S3s. Just max this out just about, almost. That's a fair bit of damage, and with Sigurd's fully heals. Not bad at all. I'd say that this worked out pretty nicely. And, you know, this isn't going to do anything. If anything, this might just kill his team right here. Let's see. Oh, unfortunately, I didn't get the counterattack. Would have been cool. Look at how much damage this does, by the way. You know, 4,600, but then an extra, you know, 10,000 damage at the end. Not bad. Not bad at all. This arena fight was sped up because it actually took a really long time. I only used Rem as the DS versus a pretty much full tank team, and I just mostly tried it to show how her counterattacks are pretty useful and constantly going, although not quite into Last Rider Crow. It's just overall useful having her as an anti-aggression kind of character. So I'm going to be going with a bruiser comp, so I'm going to get rid of this. Let's see. I think I'm going to take Fallen Cecilia here, and I'm sure this guy's thinking about taking Carrot. That's fine, I guess. I may just go for something like Landy.
Why not surrender?
Because he probably doesn't want to take Rem into it, and maybe I can take her then.
The lady of the swamp has arrived.
Emelia's artifact, I'm not sure how good it is at the moment. It may be really strong, but at the same time, I don't think it will be. Seems like it's going to be okay. I'm currently trying speed set on my Rem, I mean. But we'll have to see how this goes. Huh. This is where Carrot would completely demolish him, but I think that's kind of lame, so I'm not going to do it. I want to draft Emelia, but I think I want to take this first. Just to kind of force him to have to deal with it, really. On Rem, I'm using Sigurd's Scythe. I think Sigurd's Scythe is probably going to be her best artifact. There's almost no other artifact that could possibly compete with it, honestly. And I triple S'd my Rem because she has crit chance imprint, which is really strong overall, so I want to use that. Wash, you recently built your carrot? Disgusting. Alright, so this is actually a very good test, I think, for this. He is an attack buff no matter what I do. I'm actually thinking of removing this. Actually, wait, no. It's either this or this. I figure if he doesn't ban this because he thinks he can resist, then I would be in trouble, right? Yeah, I think I made the right ban there. I think that was definitely the smart ban. That said, I think I might be in a lot of trouble here. I'm not so sure about this one. We'll see. New background looks very nice, though, I'll definitely say. So my high effectiveness F10A theoretically should be hitting just about everybody. Hopefully it hits Alencia. It missed Alencia, which is a shame. But even though it didn't land fully on the Charlotte, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, to be honest. She still can't really do anything. So they're all gonna hit my Emelia. Yeah, that's the smart attack there. So I'm just doing, S3 doesn't really do a whole lot here, and neither does S1 really. Probably just gonna go into my Rem here, I would think. So I'm thinking of who I should be buffing, and I think I'm gonna go with Landy. I'm gonna give extra push to the team as well. Emelia's already there, which is very fast. That does quite a bit of damage. And now I get to do this as well, which should hit pretty hard. He has no mitigation on his team. Not that hard, to be perfectly honest. However, I think that's fine. He's not really able to do anything. I think this is kind of over overall. I'm gonna do this just to mitigate some damage and stuff. So if he misses, he absolutely has nothing he can do. Oh! Oh my god, that actually did quite a bit of damage. Wow. Let's see this. Okay, ignore that extra damage. Wow. That was kind of cool. That was actually really fun. I liked that. Huh. Is this slower than this? Is he actually going like that? What the hell is happening? I'm a little scared.
Let's begin.
No, he just...
Are you ready to die?
Okay, I mean, that really hurt, but I lost my souls, which sucks. Wow, he perfectly pushed up Last Fire Crowd. That's incredibly lucky.
You could try a little harder.
Wow, out of all the characters he could have pushed, he pushed that one, huh? That's kind of bad. I think I'm gonna start with this. I want that heal. Shield, I think. It's actually a nice amount. So I'm gonna do this, because I want to try and remove the immunities. Even if they get put on after by Shu. I hit her as well, which is pretty nice. The S2 heal on Emelia is really nothing too crazy from what I've seen so far. Oh, I got the counterattack. I mean, of course, that's bad versus Last Strider Crow, but
Fortune is on our side. There's no need to worry now.
even so. So she had the E that reapplied the immunity. I'm going to do this so that she has the attack buff, especially. Important.
Fight a little harder.
Probably going to S3 onto, I would assume, her. Really? He's still holding it. Okay. Well, that died. That didn't go so well. Gonna go with this.
You'll regret this.
The thing is, I had Royal's revive no matter what, so either way, even if he had killed Rem, it wouldn't really have done anything, you know? Alright. And then she gets the second attack, it kills. 3,900 damage really isn't that crazy, but you know, it's a double attack, right? Rem doesn't really work into that, but it's been a while. I think I want to try out my Yuna. It's been a long time. Rem is not really good into this, and if he picks something I really want to ban here, then I think it would be a big mistake picking Rem. So that's why I decided not to here.
Why don't you just surrender?
Huh. So I think he's leaving up Yuna, feels like. Alright. This is the exact kind of team that I've wanted to try.
As long as I'm holding this spear, I won't back down.
So this is a great time to be able to use this before Last Strider Crow gets his turn.
Losing every
And he gets all those barriers, which is all nice for me. Might be better if I just don't use anything. I think I would rather set my team up. But I think I'm going to go with this.
Let's go.
And I'm going to do this to just set my team up more.
Were you waiting?
So, greater attack Emelia. Pretty unlikely, I would say. I might be the first.
Secret methodology.
He got very lucky and hit there, which really sucks. But could be worse, I'd say.
I won't step back.
I will step
Yep,
on you.
gonna go for this. That did next to no damage whatsoever. Kind of impressive how little damage it really did. You see, here's the nice thing, right? Now I can start doing this.
Okay, where do I start?
Try this out.
Hello? Here I come.
So he's not taking much damage, I'm not taking much damage, but I think it could work, actually. I'm gonna hold on to her S3 for right now.
All right, let's have some fun.
Still has a bunch of turns, and he doesn't seem to do any damage. He is a very tanky Vector Tenebria, I'm pretty sure, with a very lucky dual attack.
It's not my fault.
Bit annoying, but I think it's okay. He has a crap load of souls, however.
Not bad. Let's go.
Fortunately, he's doing next to no damage. And I'm doing a lot more. This is a very squishy Ray, by the way. Emelia has her S2 back up, by the way.
I'll show you how I do things.
He's about to S3, which is going to hurt a lot. He's been soul burning it. But I can attack buff my Yuna again.
Doorstep.
「 And I'm thinking this might be a pretty nice play right here. Because
Were you waiting long?
he's about to take a lot of damage. And I can heal her right after.
Yet. Punish them.
This is a comp that I ran a lot previously, and it's looking pretty nice with Emelia on it, to be honest. Yeah.
Go, Tuna.
Health bar ain't doing so hot after that one. I'm gonna burn this to make sure that it kills. The Spectre Tenebra. Oh, I guess it guaranteed kill both.
I wish for a
And yeah, I think Emelia seems to fit a very, very nice role in this team.
for me, which